Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel. And to a Punched Out Thursday to Die For with Kathy, Krista, myself, Dorothy, Rebecca, and Sonia. And today I'll be using both punches and dies, and I'm going to scrap that picture of my great niece, Isabella. I have to apologize because my video is blurry. I don't think I hit the lens and got it off because I didn't get anything off the top shelf there, but it is. So I'm kind of wondering if the weight of the camera is pulling the lens down. I don't know. I thought about putting duct tape on it, but then I thought, oh, I don't want to put duct tape on my camera. So yeah, I already fixed it though, so it will not be like that on the next video. My punch that I use for the body of my frog, and if you notice, there is a frog in the photo, so I am making a frog. But I used a 2-inch and I inked it, and I wanted his belly to kind of shine, because, I don't know about y'all, but the belly seems to be pretty shiny when I see frogs. And I used a small oval punch from Stampin' Up, and then that's an EK Success Tiny Flower. And it comes in a pair too, and this is a little blurry, but it is not the one that is more solid. It's the one with the separated petals, and I'm having 3 show, and I glued 2 of them to the back for his little feet to stick out. I used the same punch for the head as I did for the legs, and I am making the smile now. I used a 1-inch punch, and I punched close to a half, and then I did a sliver, and that's going to be the mouth on the head. I thought about using my bigger oval punch for the head, but it looked really funny. I mean, sometimes I like the head to look funny, but not this time. I guess I wasn't in the mood for it. I don't know. But I think it's more often that I do want the head to look bigger than not. On the eyes, I've got several layers here. I used the 3/4 inch punch for green. I did 3 of them and cut 1 in half for eyelids. And then I used the 1/2 inch punch for the white. And this dark green, it looks kind of black, but it is dark green, I used for the eyeballs. And I put the eyelids on with the tweezers because I wanted to kind of center them, and I can't see through my thumbs and fingers when I do it. So everything else, it didn't quite matter how close it was, but the eyelids, they kind of have to match the back one. And I am going to end up pulling them off in a little bit and putting foam tape on them so his eyes will look buggy or bulgy or whatever. I used my 1/8 inch punch for the nostrils, and I'm done with the little frog. It didn't take long at all. But I will, like I said, pull his eyeballs off in a minute. I am highlighting everything with my gel pen. And yeah, that's him. That's my little frog. And the cardstock that I'm using for the frog, that I used for the frog, is the same as the background and what the photos matted in. I'm for the pattern cardstock, pattern cardstock, pattern paper that I am using. It is from Echo Park Home Again, and I am layering the 3 there, and the bottom one is a dark green with little tiny dots of a lighter green. I will use it to back the circle that I'm going to make right now, and then wished I hadn't because it's so close to the cardstock that I used on the photo that I don't think anybody would have noticed any difference. I mean, even if they're looking at the layout, other than me, because yeah, it's so close and you can't really see the dots hardly on the background paper anyway. I made sure a little bit was showing, but I don't think people will notice it. I could have saved my pattern paper. Yeah, I laid my one with the greenery on there and thought, oh, I really need something to help it show up just a little bit better. And so, yeah, I'm making the darker circle for the back, but I am cutting a little chunk out so I could save something out of it. And I am going to cut it in half. I did consider using doilies on here, but then I decided I wanted to use the pattern paper and add some of that paper with the greenery on there. And I'm going to, well, I was trying to decide how wide I wanted to make it, how much I had to have on the bottom to get the picture on there and still be able to show some of the circle, and how much I really needed for the frog. So I kind of cut it close. I did consider cutting two off the bottom of that other paper and do a little over a half, but then I thought, my title's really long. I don't need my circles any bigger. So yeah, I just went ahead and went with the one circle, and I would have used more paper. So there's that too. Um, I started putting my frog just straight down there and put the flower on there. And I decided I'd make him a lily pad. And so I cut a little chunk out and I'm rounding the corners of it because I knew the lily pad needed the corners rounded. And I probably should have got out my Creative Memories oval cutters and used one of them and made it a little bit bigger, but I think it's going to go ahead and work. Even though my flower looks gigantic compared to it. And here's where I decided my eyeballs on my frog was just a little too flat and decided I needed to make them bug out. So I used foam tape on the back because that's the only thing I could think of to make them look a little more bulgy, maybe bulgy, one or the other. I went ahead and put my picture on foam tape too, and um, I don't have a whole lot left to do on the layout. I fussy cut these flowers in advance, and I'm just going to kind of scatter them, well, maybe not scatter so much, but to tuck them around the clusters in my layout and the circles. And yeah, my title is going to cover the top half to the right and down there on the bottom left. So I have that one other flower, and you're going to see me toss it to the side, thinking, okay, I've got the long title coming up, but yeah, I'll toss it to the side, and then I'll end up getting it back because guess what? I've got room for it. I was able to put all the ones I fussy cut out on my layout. And of course, I was thinking I needed just a little bit more filler in around my flowers to give it a little more texture and color. And so I had that scrap of paper over there, and I believe it's an old, close to my heart paper. And the one side is a lighter green than the other, so I picked the darker side to have showing on these little punches. And I'm going to just scatter them around in between the flowers. And besides my title, I think I'll be done. Oh, I will be bringing that one flower out. But then I'll be done with my layout. The title is going to be those dies lying there and one more die. And those are the only two dies that I am using on the layout. But while I'm doing that, make sure y'all look down there below and see the links to all the others that are doing Punched Out Thursday to die for today, and see what they did with their dies and or punches. I used this right there, that die. It's Tim Holtz Wonderland for the word Prince. I wanted it bigger, and I also thought that looked kind of fairy tale-ish. And so yeah, my Prince is with it, and then the other is the Tim Holtz alphanumeric, the one that has all the extra letters, so you don't have to run the plate through the die machine as much. You can put all your S's on there and everything. And you can just spell out words, and it's a lot easier not to misspell something. I have been guilty of that before. And if any of y'all ever notice, don't think twice about telling me, because I do want to know if it's misspelled so I can fix it. But yeah, I like that die set a lot. And since I added that other flower, I do need a little bit more filler. So yeah, I'm tucking that in too. But that's it. That's my layout. And my title does say sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. Not that I know of her kissing the frog. The only picture that I got was this one right here. So, but I like the title. So I put it on there anyway. But yeah, if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. And again, thank you all for the 30 days of sketches. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was. I did take a few days off. That's probably why this video is such a mess. I mean, of course, the blur was beyond my control. But I felt like I hadn't scrapped in a week and it had only been 4 or 5 days. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Have a happy, scrappy week. I want y'all to take care and to stay safe. And try to find some time to pull out your punches and or dies. Bye.